Hello everybody, coming up on today's wrestling news, a huge Raw wrestler debut is planned for tonight.
John Cena returns at Money in the Bank.
There were streaming issues with last night's Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Bryan going to AEW maybe?
Ooh, and why Brock Lesnar won't be at SummerSlam in 2021. I'm Adam Nicholas.
And it's me, BRT.
And this is the news. No Adam Wilborn, no Andy Murray, so they brought the real dream team to bring you the news. They only bring us out when it's really important, but what are you going to do? And at the post Money in the Bank is pretty important, what can I say? Anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into our first story today. A huge, we're told, Raw debut is planned for tonight. This is coming from the Mat Men Pro Wrestling Podcast, who were putting out a bit of a tease around about, well, it must have been about 4 hours ago now, on their Twitter account. Basically, a little clip of Andrew Zarian from the Mat Men Podcast, who was essentially saying there's a big debut happening tomorrow night, which is obviously tonight. Essentially, it's going to be someone new, he said, someone huge, and a fellow Texan. Now, he didn't specify who or anything else after that, but the only speculation I could possibly come up with at this point, having done a little bit of who's from Texas and WWE at the moment, one that would fit all of that criteria would be Raquel Gonzalez from NXT, the current NXT Women's Champion, who is from Texas, who would be a huge, and of course would be someone new on the main roster. But someone who might feel new but isn't technically new could potentially be Keith Lee as well, another man from Texas. I'd say he's pretty huge, and yes, he wouldn't be a brand new debut, admittedly. Maybe Zarian was throwing people off the scent with that one though, who knows. But Ben Roy Turner, a big debut happening tonight on Raw. Are you excited? And is it going to be your favourite fellow Texan, someone huge, John Bradshaw Layfield, re-debuting in WWE?
I think he's too busy running around in the bushes at night. I saw that clip resurface on Twitter recently. But I would be excited if it's a current NXT champion. No, I'm not excited because that's just stupid. Don't do that. Like, let them finish. Yeah. Let them finish what they're doing. Don't put someone maybe who's dominating NXT on main event for a match. Like, bit stupid, is it? Bit silly, low. If it's Keith Lee, do it, because Keith Lee, poor Keith Lee, is just in the shadow realm somewhere. So hopefully he escapes at some point and gets back. But I'm excited as long as and then the tendrils of McMahon go over it, and then I don't know what to say. I hope whoever debuts at least gets 3 weeks of good TV.
I mean, that's probably what they'll get, but it might be all they get, which is not ideal, is it, when you're starting on a new show?
From someone who will definitely get more than 3 weeks of good TV, John Cena returned at Money in the Bank last night. We all actually saw him, so the you can't see me thing is just bollocks, really, at the end of the day. But he returned, and after Roman Reigns beat Edge, and basically said this is him coming back, and this is not the first time. He's going to be there for a while, so that disputes the rumours that he wasn't going to be coming back because of all his Fast and Furious and other movie deals. But so the important thing is here that he's back, and he's obviously going to face Roman Reigns at some point down the line, however many times it might be, for the title, reignite that feud. And this is Vin Diesel sending him over to sort out the Rock's relatives, because he needs to take them out one by one so we don't get another Hobbs and Shaw, because Vin Diesel wants to take control of the Fast and Furious franchise back.
I absolutely love that you've made that tie as well, because not many people, I think, would have got there, and that's brilliant. Also, Vin Diesel loves a bit of family, so what better than to send in John Cena to demolish Roman Reigns' family, even though we all know it's probably not going to work out that way for him. But I have to be honest, man, he got a pretty good reaction last night on Money in the Bank, and I'm pretty pleased to see him. And I know lots of people are going to mock that new do. I kind of like it, I'm kind of into it. I think he suits it. And get over it, man. John Cena has different hair. God damn it. Let the man live.
He needs to not look like an army man anymore. Like, he at some point, let the man grow up. He's not like Peter Pan, where he's going to forever stay young.
He's going to try, though. I mean, this is better than Hulk Hogan trying to maintain long hair while clearly losing it all down the middle. But hey, we digress. Let's talk about a few other issues. Not losing your hair issues, but streaming issues that were happening on last night's Peacock streaming of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now, obviously, since the switch from being a WWE network to Peacock, there's been a few Few hits and misses, but last night was an important night, and it seems we had a bit of a technical issue at some point. Twitter was going absolutely mad, it seems, because there was some heavy buffering issues that were taking place sort of just after the Raw Women's title match that meant a lot of fans missed a few bits from the show. There was a segment at the back with Riddle and Boogs and Nakamura, which was excellent, I have to say, once they finally got into the chaos of it all. Doing Randy Orton's theme song, the fans missed all that, and they couldn't watch the majority of the entrances for the men's Money in the Bank match that followed afterwards, which is less than ideal, really, when you want to watch this. I should point out, apparently this was only happening with the Peacock feed in the US, and WWE did eventually fire out a tweet around about 10 p.m. last night saying that Peacock had resolved the issues, and they suggested that people sort of restarted the app and exited to hopefully be able to watch it again. The only problem, Ben Roy, is that, unfortunately, it seems that you can't replay bits from the pay-per-view, because that is a service that is only offered by Peacock Premium, which highlights another problem that we have with Peacock. Not ideal, this, especially for the first pay-per-view back with fans.
It seems a bit like half-baked how everything sort of was half-shifted over there, and the controls, like, they can't get it. It's almost like it was done overnight, this decision, and it's just like, oh, let's just do it sort of thing. But it's a bad situation for the people over there in America that have to use Peacock, I guess. But at the same time, you've got to wonder why it eventually went there and all the business minutiae around it, which we don't know yet. Streaming services not working properly is one of the biggest first world problems I can think of, and would really annoy me if I was trying to watch it as well. So
I think it's just frustrating, isn't it? Because you want it to be smooth, and especially for such a big pay-per-view. I imagine there was a lot of people tuning in for Money in the Bank last night, and I guess they just weren't ready for it, or there was just, I don't know, issues that we don't want, and hopefully they don't continue for you guys over in the US, because we haven't been affected too bad yet, but I'm fingers crossed that also doesn't change either anytime soon.
I tell you, the one thing I wouldn't want to miss if it was buffering is Daniel Bryan potentially coming to AEW, because we hear that our friend and yours, some people's friends, Dave Meltzer was talking about this on Wrestling Observer Radio, observing the wrestling, as you would say. And he was just talking about that Big Tony Khan has a few surprises. He said are coming along, and we've got a few big shows coming with the Grand Slam in New York, and it's basically just that Bryan has sort of like naturally finished his contract. So what would he do? Does he want to go around, and now that the world is seemingly opening up really fast now, like happy Freedom Day for us over here, does he go and do a full-time gig in AEW? Does he go to New Japan and just dip his foot in, or does he do a limited run with Kenny Omega? Who knows? But at the end of the day, Dave seems to think that this might be a certain thing, more so than like CM Punk and Brock Lesnar anyway. What do you think?
Well, I think there's definitely more chance of Bryan going to AEW than there is CM Punk or Brock Lesnar. I kind of like the idea you just mentioned there, Bryan being able to travel freely between different companies. I feel like he's got so much to offer, and I'm sure he's got a list as long as his arm of people who he'd like to go up against who are currently not in WWE. I think a lot of people might have thought that this was all part of a storyline with Bryan and WWE, and that match with Roman was just like, well, eventually we're going to get him come full circle. Maybe that will be the case, but imagine if he just somehow manages to bridge all of the companies. It's never going to happen, but hey, I would happily see him in AEW mixing up with everybody over there, definitely.
Yes, I'll just shout yes wherever he is.
Damn right. But you might get Bryan in AEW. You might even get John Cena in WWE, Ben Roy, but do not expect to see Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam this year. Unfortunately, that seems like it isn't going to be happening. WWE, as we already kind of heard, are already trying to plan a replacement for him. We know with that long tenured match that everybody seems to have wanted between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. It feels like money, but it ain't going to be happening just yet. So that's why they're going to get big old Bill Goldberg in to fill the slot, because everybody loves Bill. Am I right? But having said that, according to Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the reason why Brock isn't going to be coming back just yet is because he isn't ready to be doing multiple shows and multiple pay-per-views in a row. He's not ready to do that. If he was going to come back, it would just be for that one appearance. WWE, of course, love protecting Brock Lesnar. They don't want him to just come back, lose to Bobby Lashley, and disappear again, because they've probably got one eye down the road on that potential match with Roman Reigns. We all know that's going to happen at some point. The storyline is there and ready and made. So the minute Brock isn't in a position where he wants to come back, well, full-time, as much as full-time is for Brock Lesnar. And that'll be the reason why he's not going to be at SummerSlam. And The reason why your friend of mine, Bill Goldberg, probably is. Ben Roy, your thoughts on our final news story for today?
I have to be honest, every time I think of Brock Lesnar now, I think of that new haircut he's got.
Love it.
Just this like weird like man who's wandering around the woods killing animals and just then carving up the meat. Like, is he going to come back as some sort of like, pseudo butcher guy? Like, who knows? But like Goldberg come back, just have a big throw about with Lashley. Do it. Like that works for me. I think it should work for everyone as long as he doesn't win. I mean, the last time we saw Goldberg, he lost to Strowman, I think. But yeah, if Lesnar comes back, sure, like, I'm never going to say no to Lesnar. I love a Lesnar pop, especially when they're ridiculous. Like, he's in the match now, and guess what? He's going to win. And then he's going to have a beatbox, or whatever I don't even know what you call them. Boombox, that was it.
Boombox, like, there you go.
And just going to dance around. But if he comes out with his little hoodie, dancing, and then reveals that ponytail, you've made yourself millions.
Listen, man, bring back the Brock party, I say. That was amazing. It was too good to be true, and we didn't get enough of it. But yeah, imagine this scenario, Ben Roy. The only way I might accept if Goldberg does come back and inexplicably beat Bobby Lashley, he shouldn't, by the way. He totally shouldn't do that. But if he does do that, who's got the Money in the Bank briefcase, of course? We got the winners from last night, obviously. Nikki Ash won the women's, but Big E won the men's. And how long have we heard Big E talking about his dream match? Big men bumping meat. Big E versus Goldberg. That is the only scenario I would settle for. Other than that, please, please, please let that be one match and done for Big Bill. I know it's Bill. I'm sure he's great, but I think his time is up. John Cena's time is now. That's who we need. Anyway, those are all of your news stories for today. No Twitter questions today because 1, the boys aren't here, and 2, I'm lazy. That's it. I'm lazy.
We don't look at Twitter that much, I guess. I'm sorry.
We're not as locked into to the Twitter zone as Adam Wilborn and Andy Murray are. But you can indeed go and follow WhatCulture on Twitter if that's some sort of bargain for, I don't know, at WhatCulture WWE. You can also go and read all of the articles and all the good stuff from last night's Money in the Bank on WhatCulture too. WhatCulture.com/WWE. If you'd like to, you can also follow either of your hosts. You can follow Ben Roy Turner at
Ben Roy Turner.
And you can follow me at It's Adam Nicholas. In the meantime, we hope you enjoyed Money in the Bank last night. Thank you for joining us for today's news. And we will not see you on the next one. It'll probably be your trusty team of Adam Wilborn and Andy Murray. Goodbye.
Just don't upset Dominic Toretto.
Family.